What's going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we are checking out Sarajevo by Sabaton. This is the top comment on my last Sabaton video by Sherman Owo. He wanted a pair of Sabaton songs, Sarajevo and Versailles. Versailles will be Friday. Just to let y'all know. Yeah, honestly, this is stuff like this. I'll usually sort by top comment a lot of the time, or if I see it's been commented a lot, that's how I determine what to react to next, because I mean, y'all usually have pretty good fucking requests. So that's how I usually find them. Either way, should be a fun one. Sarajevo, from the Sabaton History thing, it's about the beginning of World War I. Should be interesting. God, I love just jumping around history. By the way, links are below for both the videos, so go check them out. I'm sure you already have, but still gonna tell you to. And yeah, let's jump in.
For decades, the Austro-Hungarian Empire had been a powerful influence in the heart of Europe. Resting on a legacy, their house kept stability, order, and peace. But not everyone bowed to this power.
I don't know if it'll tell us in here. Doesn't look like it. Dang. Let me know if you guys think the same. She sounds, I instantly got Battlefield 1 vibes from her as like the announcer.
In the summer of 1914, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of the Empire is visiting Sarajevo, unaware of the assassins awaiting him and what will come. Two shots are fired, and the Archduke is dead. The Empire cannot let this go unpunished, and the first declaration of war is made. From a shot that would change the world, tensions rise and our walls unfurled.
Dude, I really like the way they open that. Like I'm trying to explain like how what I got from that. It was very they made it out to be like a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm blanking. What the fuck? Like a history, like an actual history video, I want to say. Like very similar to like how someone would open up like a project or something along those lines. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Nothing like what had come before. It's the war that will end all war. From a shot that will change the world. Tensions rise and our wars unfurled. Nothing like what had come before. It's the war that will end all war.
God, again, they do it all the time. I love like the chanting or like it sounds like a bunch of people yelling it. It sounds awesome.
Chaos and shockwaves spread from the Balkans across the globe. Alliances are put to the test, threats exchanged, and armies are put on high alert. In the east, the Russian Tsar is trying to calm the situation with his cousin, the Kaiser of Germany.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But it is all in vain. The situation is out of control. War is unavoidable.
From a shot that would change the world.
Was this is giving major vibes of, this had to have been like the first, was this first song on the album? War to End All Wars. It was. That makes so much sense to like really, because War to End All Wars very much so all World War One. So it's and then Versailles is the last one. Oh, so you want to see the beginning and the end of the war? That makes sense. That's a cool way to tell the story. I like that. That's a cool way to tell the story of this. Damn! Again, I've yet to find a fucking... Oh, hell yeah, get heavy on there. I was say, I still have yet to find a solo I dislike. The fucking speed up is super cool. So beautiful. Dude. That was fucking beautiful. I think that's my favorite part of the song. Where it was super heavy, leads into a fucking softer section, and like I want to say like haunting, if you think about it. Like it's the calm before the storm. Like you had the build up, the storm of everyone getting battle ready, and then the calm before the storm, before the first shots are really fired. And now it's built back up into the actual marching of armies. Oh, it's so good. If that's what they were going... Shot in the dark. It's a fucking shot in the dark whether or not that's actually what they were going for, but that's what I got from it. And God is it good.
The Battle of the Frontiers starts in August as soldiers cross borders and bullets are fired in rage. War begins.
God, yeah, that's such a great way to lead into the actual rest of the album. Holy shit. Love it. All right, jump straight into the fucking history section now.
I'm Indy Nidell.
I'm Pat from Sabaton.
And Sabaton, their last two albums have been The Great War and The War to End All Wars. But the war to end all wars, Per, where did that war begin?
Sarajevo.
For decades, the Austro-Hungarian Empire had been a powerful influence in the heart of Europe.
And yeah, yet again, I know I said it in the beginning of the song itself. I'm getting major Battlefield 1 vibes. And honestly, now that I think about it, it gives the idea of like the opening and setting the scene for like a Battlefield 1 campaign.
Resting on a legacy, their house kept stability, order, and peace. But not everyone bowed to this power.
One shot that would change the world. One shot that did not just kill the heir apparent, but would ultimately lead to the downfall of 4 mighty empires, condemn
Which is
millions to
insane
death
to
and
think about.
suffering, and destroy the old Europe of emperors and kings. This one shot was fired in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, and would become the symbolic cradle of the great calamities of
God, honestly, that's true with the, because Austro-Hungary, Ottoman, Tsar Russia. I'm blanking on like the fourth one. But all those fell. Dude, so this one shot led to the fucking, more or less to the USSR. And all the shit that all the millions, like we mentioned in, I forget which video it was, where they starved out Ukrainians during a famine, the Gulag, all that shit.
the 20th century. One day, the
God
great
damn,
European
one shot
war will
led to
come out
all
of some
that.
damn foolish thing in the Balkans. Otto von Bismarck. On June 15, 1910, the Serbian student Bogdan Jerajic fired 5 shots at the governor of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Marijan Varisanen, before turning the revolver on himself. While public outrage condemned this assassination attempt as an act of madness, there was a radical underground that celebrated the shooter as a hero. This try at tyrannicide would spark a number of terrorist plots aimed.
Hey, there's always not even necessarily underground nowadays too. Someone gets fucking shot and people fucking celebrate it, which is fucking insane to me. Like, you don't have to fucking like them or whatnot, but the fact that some dude
aimed against the ruling elite in the Balkans. Behind them were organizations like the Black Hand, Narodna Odbrana, Mlada Bosna, and several smaller splinter groups that promoted a radical...
Holy shit, is that the T-1000? He looks less like him now that I'm looking at him. But for a split second, he kind of looked like the actor who played the T-1000 in Terminator 2.
And several smaller splinter groups that promoted a radical stance for Southern Slav nationalism. Groups that had found their major enemy in the multinational Commonwealth of the Habsburg Empire. Okay, setting the stage. The Austro-Hungarian Empire long stood at the center of Europe's concert of great powers. The dual monarchy, ruling over a multinational empire of Austro-Germans, Hungarians, Czechs, Slovaks, Slovenes, Croats, Serbs, Romanians, Ruthenians, Poles, and Italians, was, however, on the decline in a bunch of ways in the early 20th century. Many saw the empire's commonwealth as anachronistic, as a relic of a bygone age, much like its ancient 80-something emperor, Franz Joseph himself.
God damn,
its future would soon, of course, be decided by the emperor, Franz Joseph himself. Its future would soon, of course, be decided by his heir, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Franz Ferdinand was a colorful person, to say the least. And
what a
you should
magnificent
Google
mustache.
him to learn more about his oddities, his animal massacring, and just do it, right? Anyhow, although he saw himself as an absolute ruler, politically he was a moderate, a reformer with great energy and a semi-progressive vision for his empire. Rumors had it that he would form a tripartite empire, a federation that would strengthen the southern Slavs by perhaps putting Zagreb on the same level as Budapest. Franz Ferdinand also stood at odds with the expansionist war hawks like Army Chief of Staff Franz Conrad von Hotzendorf. To gather support for his political vision, Franz Ferdinand planned a visit to Sarajevo for late June 1914
That's interesting.
to present himself to the Bosnian people. The empire had very...
That's interesting. So he wanted to elevate the southern states, and he was against the Damn. And now I want to learn more about him.
Controversially,
that's probably what I'll do
Bosnia
tomorrow.
In 1908. Military attachés advised postponing or canceling the visit, thinking there could be violence. But those warnings went unheeded. Franz's moderate views were anathema to the radicals in Bosnia and in independent Serbia. Although in the clear minority, They were the most determined to overthrow or at least destabilize the region through domestic subversion. The emblem of the Black Hand showed the toolset of political assassination. Next
Poison,
to the obligatory
dagger,
skull and bones
explosive.
was a knife, a bomb, and a phial of poison. In underground camps, they trained their operatives in guerrilla warfare, espionage, marksmanship, and bomb throwing to act on their ire against Austrian rule in Bosnia. After the failure to kill Governor Varasanin in 1910, they first turned their eyes to his successor, Oskar Potiorek. But you know, why kill merely a governor if you could kill an archduke? And not only an archduke, but the direct heir to the throne of the Habsburg
Bigger fish
Empire.
to catch.
This would send a guaranteed ripple through the empire, if not Europe itself. The empire would not, could not, let such an act go unpunished. And if a vengeful Austro-Hungarian army marched against Belgrade, then Serbia and her Imperial Russian ally would be forced to act. And let's be clear, war had worked out well for Serbia in the years immediately before 1914. Serbia had done very well and gained lots of territory in the Balkan Wars. Okay, it was Europe's great folly at this time that it had deviated from a self-sustaining geopolitical ecosystem and turned towards a power block of alliances. And all through the early 20th century, Europe seemed to be haunted by crisis after crisis. The war in Libya, the annexation of Bosnia, the independence of Albania, the Morocco crises. It was just ratcheting up and up. So far,
world tension
a
going
major
up
war
and up.
among great powers had been avoided, but the balance was out of whack. Except for the German Empire, Austria-Hungary was politically isolated. Both Russia and France hoped to serve their own goals by backing and guaranteeing Serbian interests. Well, the French and the Russians were solid allies with each other, worried about German power in any case. And while the Russians were really more in it for themselves than for their Slavic brother Serbia, after their defeat at Japan's hands in 1905, the Tsar was determined to never again lose face internationally. So if something major would arise...
Yep, Russians got their asses kicked by the Japanese. I believe we learned about that actually on some previous video. I don't remember what it was though.
That led Austria-Hungary to declare war on Serbia, Russia would intervene on Serbia's behalf. Would this make Germany come to Austria's help, in turn prompting France to go to war? But wait. If there was war between France and Germany, one would end up being the victor and much more powerful. So Britain would have to cast its lot with someone to be on the victor's side and keep the balance. But since the Kaiser had been contesting British naval supremacy, that someone would be France. But wait, what about Italy? Yeah, Italy had an alliance with Germany and Austria-Hungary, but a defensive one. How would Italy react to all of this?
God, it's been too long since I was in class, but yeah, the actual political games and like alliances and whatnot were so fucking convoluted. And it was just a fucking cascading fucking domino effect once everything popped off.
Well, basically, Europe had allowed itself to chain its geopolitical future to the ever more unstable and volatile powder keg that was the Balkans. To set the fuse to this powder keg, the Black Hand organized bombs and guns for its newest operatives. The ultra-nationalist milieu of Belgrade's coffee houses often attracted the attention of desperate, forlorn young men by propagating romantic visions of a greater good, of self-sacrifice for the sake of the motherland. Bosnian Serb Gavrilo Princip was one of them. 19 years old, Princip wanted to succeed where Zerajic had failed. But Europe was still at peace on Sunday, June 28, 1914.
In the summer of 1914, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of the Empire is visiting Sarajevo, unaware of the assassins awaiting him and what will come.
In the early morning hours, Imperial Archduke Franz Ferdinand arrived with his wife, Sophie Chotek von Hotkova, at the train station in Sarajevo. From there, they went by car
That's a
down to the city
magnificent
hall
fucking
via the
hat.
Apple Key. There were 6 vehicles in the royal motorcade. The first car was boarded by the mayor of Sarajevo and the police commissioner, with the royal pair in the car right behind them. The car had the top rolled back so they could wave at the many onlookers and well-wishers that lined the streets in anticipation of their visit. The day of their arrival was unfortunate, though. It was St. Vitus Day, the day when, in 1389, Ottoman forces fought a Serbian army at Kosovo. The fighting itself was inconclusive, but it so depleted Serbian manpower that the Serbian Empire could not survive future fights with the Ottomans and soon fell fully under its sway. The choice of date was nothing more than an unlucky coincidence, but the ultra-nationalists saw it as a provocation.
As most do. Like, that is very fucking unlucky. And honestly, instantly, do you know where my mind went? My mind instantly went to, if you guys watch Top Gear, the Argentina special when they drove V8s. It was like the anniversary of the first V8 being created. So they all took V8s and they were going to go from, I forget where exactly, down to Argentina, play a car soccer match against some people down there, like try to foster relations because of all the bad blood. One of the presenters, Jeremy Clarkson, he brought a Porsche, and on it just so from wherever he bought it in Europe and got it, he bought it, shipped it there, didn't change anything on it. So the number plate on it had a very vague reference to something that happened in the Falklands War. And apparently some veterans of the war took exception to that. And a huge riot broke out, and honestly, it got really bad. They had to fucking ditch the cars. The presenters flew home in secrecy. The film crew got attacked on their way driving out of there. Like, it was insane. Insanely bad. And that's instantly where my mind went. Just, oh, no. It's an unlucky coincidence. We're going to use it as provocation.
The terrorist cells of the Black Hand had been shadowing the preparations for the visit for several days, planning the best way to attack the well-known route. There were men positioned at intervals along the quay. If one of them would be intercepted and searched, another could take his place and fulfill the mission. Armed with loaded revolvers, each also carried a small bomb. These bombs were to be set via detonator caps and 12-second chemical fuses. Each assassin was also carrying a small paper of cyanide powder to kill themselves once the deed was done. The royal motorcade made its way towards Jumeirah Bridge. A first assassin prepared his bomb, but his nerves failed him. A second assassin, standing on the riverside of the quay, grabbed his bomb and broke the detonator cap with a loud bang. The royal car driver, seeing the bomb flying through the air, stepped on the gas. So the bomb bounced off the hood and rolled under the car behind them. The explosion wounded several officers and policemen, as well as a number of bystanders. Sophia was bleeding from the cheek, but otherwise the royal pair was unharmed. The assassin swallowed his cyanide and threw himself off the bridge into 4 inches of water. And the cyanide only made him vomit. He was taken into custody.
Dude, first off, that's kind of fucking funny. Second off, holy shit. Like, I knew they were fucking fanatical and whatnot, but that is some insane level devotion.
But confusion reigned as policemen surrounded the scene and the wounded were transported to the hospital. Was this a lone assassin, a madman, or were there others nearby? They moved on towards the town hall. As the general shock wore off, Franz Ferdinand flew into a rage at the mayor, but his wife brought back his composure. He addressed the Bosnian people, thanking them for their warm welcome. Then Potiorek proposed canceling the rest of the...
That's fucking insane. Like, yeah, I got pissed at the mayor. Wife calmed me down. Okay. All the people watching all this, thank you for the warm welcome. Motherfucker just had a fucking bomb tossed at him. Hey, thanks for the warm-up. That's
tour
insane.
and driving straight back to the train station. But the Archduke wanted to visit the wounded in the hospital first. However, they did not tell the driver of their change of plans. As the car pulled into Franz Joseph Street, Potiorek yelled at the driver to stop and turn the other way. In a fateful chain of events, the car's engine was turned off right in front of a perplexed Gavrilo Princip. Couple of things here. There are many reports that the car had no reverse gear. This is false. The car, a 1910 Graf and Stift touring car, does have a reverse gear, but it takes a while to shift into it. Also, Princip was not standing in front of a delicatessen eating a sandwich. This is not only false, but it comes from the 21st century. Yep, there is not a single mention of it in any documentary source before 2003.
Oh, that's interesting, because that's it. That's the story I know, that they pulled over, stopped, and the dude who ended up doing it, or that dude at least, was eating a sandwich there. That's the story I heard, but the fact that that's not true and it's perpetuated so fucking much is insane.
Not one, and certainly not in the transcript of Princip's trial. People didn't even eat sandwiches in Sarajevo in 1914. The only place it comes from before 2003 is a Brazilian novel called 12 Fingers, published in English in 2001, in which Gavrilo meets Dmitri, the book's hero, in front of Schiller's Market before the shooting and is eating a sandwich. But whatever he's doing, he's in the right place at the right time, or wrong place at the wrong time, depending how you look at it. And as the car moves towards him, he draws his revolver, and at point-blank range, he fires 2 fatal shots. One through the door of the car into the Duchess's abdomen. The second hits the Archduke in the neck. Blood pouring through his uniform, Franz Ferdinand loses consciousness after telling his wife to stay alive for the sake of their children. Princip is knocked to the ground before he can shoot himself. Outraged bystanders almost lynch him on the spot, but the police do apprehend him.
God, that's also insane too, that these guys were in such the minority that the people that they lynched the dude, despite it being controversial, like they almost lynched this motherfucker.
Just after 11 a.m., the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Habsburg throne, is dead.
Doesn't his wife end up dying?
Along with his dreams of reforming the empire. The news of the assassination spreads quickly throughout Europe, not only in Vienna, but
with his wife. I'm trying to... Let me look it up. I swear she died as well, but I'm not positive. Yep, she died there as well, which is sad. Also, I don't know anything about what happened to their kids.
But in Berlin, St. Petersburg, Paris, London, Budapest, everyone in every cabinet knew that this could spark yet another crisis. It would prompt an investigation, a response, and likely an ultimatum. But no one could guess how far this one would go. And just over a month later, the old world was at war. In itself, the murder of a sovereign was not necessarily the reason for the outbreak of the Great War. There would have certainly been a crisis, there would have been consequences, but this time, the deadlock of alliances had fatally trapped its nations. Plans and timetables went into effect. Mobilization was answered with mobilization. An unstoppable machine was set into motion, and war soon raged all over Europe and then the world. The Serbian, Eastern, and Western fronts all opened up in the early days of the war, and the killing began. And here's something to think about in terms of killing. On August 22nd, 1914, on the Western Front, more than a dozen battles were simultaneously fought from Alsace to the Ardennes. The French had 27,000 of their soldiers killed on this one day. Not wounded, not missing, dead in one day. And that was just one of the warring nations. And this was not the end, but the very, very beginning.
God, anytime they bring up the Anytime they bring it up, the amount of deaths is just insane because it's so many ultimately for so little. Ah,
Before I begin asking you questions and leading you in places you may not want to go, I gotta say I love your jacket there. I love your coat.
Guess where it's from?
Do you want me to actually guess, or do you want to tell them
Sarajevo.
where it's from?
I think you know.
Is this one of the ones that was used in the video for Christmas Truce?
Nope.
It's not.
oh no.
But it's used in another Sabaton music video. Anybody can guess who?
I'm
It's a little bit
not allowed
competition
to.
here.
Okay,
I
that's a
don't
new
know.
competition. Okay, great new competition.
Weirdly enough, a lot of the videos I watch from them, a lot of their music that I listen to, I don't see a whole lot of actual music videos
Anybody
from
can
them.
guess who? Okay,
At least some of the
Sarajevo.
ones I end up
Now,
watching.
You did the Great War, but when you did the second album, now both Sarajevo and Versailles are on the War to End All Wars, which Sarajevo it's the flashpoint beginning. It's not the beginning, and Versailles isn't the end, although people think it is. But it's the end. It's one of the treaties. But why would you put the bookends on the second album, not the first album?
We did like the idea of creating this tie up to it. Obviously, we already had done the Great War and a lot of
Yeah.
songs, and before that, we also had done other
Plenty
World
of-
War One songs.
Yeah, but you wanted
we
to
thought that
tell a
this one
story,
would,
beginning
you
and
know,
end of the
be
album.
more bound together by a start and an ending
Okay.
to have
Yeah.
a more a concept feeling about it, and then
Yeah,
I guess
have it
has
be a
to
bit more
start with,
cohesive.
Sarajevo.
And it's interesting that it's Sarajevo. It's not Franz Ferdinand. It's not Gavrilo Princip. It's not the shot heard round the world or anything. It's the town. It's the city.
Yeah, I guess it's a more like the
Okay, to be fair, as an American, you say shot heard around the world, I think of the Revolutionary War. That's again, it's because I'm American, but yeah.
people are, they think about that city when they think about the event.
This song is a different type of song as well for you guys.
Yeah,
You want-
I had some idea when it was Joachim and Chris was working on it.
Yeah?
And I came and interrupted them and said, hey, what about we do it without the traditional format of you do a verse and then a pre-chorus and a chorus? Why don't we skip the verse and we do it with spoken words instead?
Yeah.
And
Honestly, the spoken words really
I
makes
guess
it
the guys
memorable.
liked the idea, and that's how it turned out. So we went back to the lady who was the voice of the Great War. Then we went back to her and asked if she could record a couple of lines for that song, and it kind of turned out the verse that way. It's a different type of song, but
It's a different approach to
yeah, it's
to
a
the
different
song.
approach to write a song. But there's been a lot of people over the years who say that all the Sabaton songs sound the same.
Yeah, but that's bullshit.
Yeah, I have to agree too.
Quite a few sound vaguely the same, but that's because the band has a sound. Like, yeah, they sound vaguely alike, but they're not the same.
I mean, you have now listened to all our songs by now.
Yeah, I genuinely have. Well, I mean, I know a lot of you guys are like super fans out there, but I've listened to every single Sabaton song at least a few times to do the episodes.
And you have also read the lyrics about them and analyzed every song, so you know that they are definitely not the same. And you are also a musician; you are capable of playing them, and
Yes.
you probably also played several of them.
Yes, yeah.
So there we go. So you know that they are not the same, and I mean,
No.
here we show a different approach of how to write a song as well.
I think, I don't know. I think it depends on how much you know of the band and how much you honestly, how much you like said band. Because I love the band Disturbed, but my dad says every song of theirs sounds the same. When personally, it doesn't to me.
Now,
I think it's just how much you know the band and how
that
much you
woman,
like them.
what is her name?
Bethan.
And can we get a photo of her here? So tell us about her. How did you guys end up doing this collaboration?
We were searching on the internet and different talent agencies.
Yeah.
to find a actress that would fit. We were looking for both male and female. We didn't know exactly what we were aiming for, but just something that sounded and captured powerful voice.
Well, I like that it's her voice is, it's got enough depth for a female voice, but without being overbearing, you know, without being like bombastic. Mr. Sorry.
We found a couple of different alternatives, and we went through and we had some tests and we had some auditions, but ultimately it was so perfect when we find Bethan.
Has she ever worked with you guys live or doing anything with the shows? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe we do that someday.
Maybe we all do that someday. Maybe we have Indy Nidell and Bethan and Sabaton and you guys play a song. Just when everybody's excited for the next song, it's 2.5 minutes of me talking about the Valley of Death.
Well, everything has a beginning, and an end.
And this is the end of the song about the beginning.
Exactly.
Sarajevo. Well, say goodnight to all the nice people out there.
Good night, everybody, and thanks for watching Sabaton History channel. Until next time, take care.
The Battle of the Frontiers starts in August as soldiers cross borders and bullets are fired in rage.
God, she's so good. I'm trying to figure out, like, where else I swear I've heard her voice before. Oh, so it is Bethan Dixon Bate. Okay, so that is good to know. So this is her. She's Baldur's Gate. So she's in a lot of games. Who is the female announcer? Battlefield. Catherine Kingsley. Okay, yeah, she's also in a bunch of shit. Oh, she's also in Battlefield 6. I really like her voice as well. Damn, she was in a lot. Damn, she has a very pretty voice. They both do. I really enjoy them. Bit of a tangent there, but still, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Can't wait for Friday to check out Versailles. And yeah, hope you guys like it. Check out some other reactions on the channel. Sure, there's something you guys would like. And until next time, you guys take care of yourselves. See ya.